In this lesson, we are going to learn all about the Hebrew numbers 20 to 100. Let's start with the tens. First, let me show you how to pronounce the tens correctly. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Some of the tens names are comprised of the names of the units we already know. There are some changes to the stress and the nikud in this case, but you can see the similarities in the letters. Don't bother yourself too much with the nikud at this point. When it comes to the tens, we use the form above for the feminine and masculine nouns, which is great for us. Unlike counting units, no need to memorize two sets of numbers. Let me show you some examples. Let's take two nouns. One will be of the feminine gender, LHATT in this example, and the other noun will be of masculine gender. Let's take ימים. 20 דלתות, 30 דלתות, 40 דלתות, and so on to 100. Nowadays, 20 ימים, 30 ימים, 40 ימים, and so on. The key point here is that we use the same numbers to denote nouns of both genders. Now that we have covered the tens, it is time to add the units. I want you to remember that in numbers greater than 20, the units digit is named according to the gender of the noun we denote, just like in the numbers 1 to 19. The tens digit remains the same for every number, regardless of the gender. Let's go over some examples, starting with the feminine form. We will use the number 50 as our base. 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59. Several things to discuss. Notice how the tens number name doesn't change between the numbers. We use 50 in all the numbers on the screen. This is also true for all the tens. There is no need to change the tens when we add the units. The tens also don't change for masculine and feminine nouns. I will show you the masculine version of the numbers shortly. Let's look at the units part of the numbers on the screen. We can see that all the units names start with the letter Vav decorated with a different nikud sign. Sometimes it sounds like V and sometimes like U. In other cases, you may hear another version of the letter Vav before the unit number, Va. The letter Vav serves as a conjunction letter. The part after the letter Vav is the unit number name. Like saying 50 and 1, 50 and 2, 50 and 3, 50 and 4, and so on. Let's zoom in since this is important. Here is the number 51 broken to components, still in the feminine form. Now that we understand what is the purpose of the letter Vav in the number, we can see that the unit numbers are the number names in the separate form we covered in a previous lesson. In our case, the numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. Let's go over another example, still in the feminine form. We are going to build the numbers 61 to 69 using the same principles. For the tens numbers, we are going to use the number 60. We need to add the letter Vav as a conjunction. And finally, let's add the feminine separate form of the numbers 1 to 10, exactly like we did in the previous example. This is the formula for all the numbers from 20 to 100. Moving on to the masculine form. With the masculine form, we keep building the numbers according to what I showed you above, but we use the separate masculine form of the units. Let me show you an example using the 50s again, so you will have an example you can compare to. Here are the numbers from 51 to 59. 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59. The only difference in comparison to the feminine example are the units. Here we use the masculine form of the units. Here are both of the forms side by side. Can you spot the differences? To summarize, regarding the tens, we always use the same number names. Only the units are changed according to the gender of the noun. The form of the units will come in the separate form of the number 1 to 9 in two forms, one for each gender. The letter Vav attached to each unit's number name serves as a conjunction. Okay, the hard part of the lesson is behind us now. We have a few more topics to cover. What about abstract numbers? Very simple. Remember to always use the feminine form of the numbers. That is all. If you want to learn more about abstract numbers, you can find links in the description below. The last topic for today is the definite and indefinite nouns. For example, what if we want to say the 55 tables in Hebrew? Notice the article the. In Hebrew numbers 1 to 10, for example, the definite noun changes the number name, so there is another form for us to learn, which is the construct form. Luckily for us, when it comes to numbers greater than 20, we always use the separate form that we have just learned. So, no need to remember another special form for the definite article. Just use the numbers above according to the gender. Okay, so to summarize all that we have learned today, always use the same tens number names for all cases. What changes according to gender are the units' number names. With abstract numbers, use the feminine form. There is no difference in the number form when denoting definite or indefinite nouns. There is only one number form for each gender. That is all for today. I hope you have found this lesson informative and helpful. Next lesson we will continue with numbers above 100. Thank you for watching.